That's the main camera. Okay. Welcome to the Matt and Monica podcast, where we have special guests, which we've already had in the past. Mr. G, his episode 1 had a really heavy focus on bullying and was definitely appropriate for kids. This is just a little bit of a different aspect of what Mr. G's learned in his time on this earth and how he's overcame adversity. And if there's somebody that has overcame a lot in his life, is Mr. G's definitely a beacon for people to, just has a lot of resilience in his.
Yes, and with everything that he's been through, he just gives back to his community.
Yes, absolutely. So Mr. G, we appreciate you coming.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I apologize. It's been so long, but our schedules are so crazy and busy. At least we can get together and get back to the people and the kids, and that's the main focus, is help the kids, because you never know how hard a kid is going through, and stuff like that. We all have bad days, right? But you don't put yourself in their shoes. How important it is for you to put a smile on your face every day, so that kid sees you.
Absolutely.
So that kid knows what you are. You could be their only welcoming force, and their positive attitude they see all day.
Right.
And that's what they say. Bus drivers, even the bus drivers, are very important in kids' influence, because they're the first person they see when they get in the morning, and then last person they see before they go to their homes.
Yeah.
So a lot of the kids, I deal with a lot of kids that they come off the bus and they always run to a teacher. They run to me and they give you hugs. How you doing, Mr. G? Good morning. And it's just always you're there and you feel relieved, but yet you're always wondering in the back of your mind why, what's going on at home, but you can't never understand that. But at least when you're at school, you can be there for them.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of people that don't realize, there's people that work at schools, the amount of support that these kids are getting from maybe these teachers or teacher assistants, teacher aides. You may be the only positive reinforcement those kids see at all, period.
Right. I like what you said about the bus drivers. They kind of set the tone for the kids right in the morning, right off the bat. And if they're having a hard morning and they see a bus driver smiling and, hi, blah, 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 have a good day. And, it definitely helps them, instead of the bus driver being miserable, and it just feeds into their sadness or they're anxious, whatever is going on. Bus drivers definitely, I think that's huge.
Yeah, and I also feel like custodians and lunch ladies and stuff, be nice, say please, say thank you. What a lost art nowadays. Yep. I see it all the time in school and stuff like that. I go, please and thank you. Goes huge, goes above and beyond. It's like simple things in life.
Yeah.
If you understand them and know the simple things and please and thank you, everybody's going to respect you.
Yeah.
Just because as a child growing up, please and thank you, and if you put it in your vocabulary, they're really going to say, this child's very polite. He knows good manners. So please and thank you.
I wanted to not to derail us or anything, but I really want to get. We left off last time we spoke. I believe it was more or less from your childhood.
Yeah.
We wanted to tack this off into a direction of where it went from there, and because you have a lot of value and a lot of things that you've learned throughout your life, and one of the biggest things is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, just good old beer, alcohol. Which how many people on this planet right now struggle with an alcohol addiction? I know I have a lot of addiction and whatnot in my family. A lot of alcohol addiction. I'm knock on wood. I've been quite blessed as far as I've never had an issue, but it's something I'm happy that I am not able to relate to, because I know that's been a hell of a struggle for you.
Oh yeah, it's been a very struggling. It's real. and this June I'll have 3 years sober.
Awesome.
And the average person, and I relapsed once, but the average person relapses over and over again. But
What do you think caused you to go down that road? Like I'm going to try to do my best to keep us in a line in a direction.
No, good idea. Yep.
what best going down the road because I was the life of the party.
Yeah.
I want to fit in, and I want to. This is it. This is it. Let's go.
Like Frank the Tank.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
when you were in high school, did you go to a lot of parties? Is that like kind of when it started?
No,
Okay.
actually, I started, believe it or not, in college.
Okay.
They called me Killer Keg Luke. So anytime there's a Killer Keg party, they'd call me up. You want a Killer Keg party? What street? What time? From whatever, I'll be there, and stuff like that. And I kept doing it over and over again, and I loved it because everybody loved it. Hoop it up and big party from one. You were
like the man there. They
Yeah.
wanted you there.
Started from Friday afternoon from like 4 o'clock to happy hour to Sunday, maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night. I took time off. And I took probably an hour, maybe an hour or two to sleep and then get back at it and do it again. I mean,
So it wasn't just like a weekend thing. It was like all week long also.
yeah, it was real.
Yeah.
It was very real. And the stuff I realized I missed was like when
1 second.
Okay.
1 second. All right. Sorry. A little bit of technical difficulty.
So what the thing that I realized is like when is nothing I realized that I didn't know who I was at first because when you're drinking a lot and stuff like that, making dumb choices and stuff, it's not who you really are. And then I'll do college and then I used to party. But really what started me thinking about it was when my dad quit drinking. Just drop of a hat. He quit drinking because he had some health issues. And about 5 years ago, he quit. And he hasn't touched a drop since. And I would love... I go up with my dad. We go have a beer together, go down to happy hour, go watch some softball games together. And I enjoyed having the beer with my dad. And I loved hanging out with him and stuff like that. But when he decided that, no, I'm done. You got a scare for a health scare. He goes, I'm done. And yes, I thought of it, but yet it's like, okay, no, I'm still pressing forward. I'm still doing it. And then when the alcohol took over my life more than my family and my wife, I almost lost everything. I could have been homeless. I could have been, homeless, carless. And when alcohol affects you that much, and I camp when I used to go to camp a lot. And what do we do at camp? Drink.
Yeah. Yep.
Are there any specific moments that you can remember that were like the pinnacle of difficulties specifically because you're alcohol? If you don't mind talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's one night by the fire. We were sitting there running the thing, and I was half drunk and hollow-eyed, and I had shots. You name it. It wasn't tied down. I drank it. And when I sat there at a picnic table with my head down and my pants down and I don't know how they fell down and stuff like that. And it's like, I felt ashamed, embarrassed, and my wife left the scene because she was ashamed and embarrassed too. And that way, and then the next morning she said, listen, you have a problem. Either it's me or the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is probably a good thing that she
absolutely,
said that to you.
Absolutely. Because a normal person back at my grandfather passed away, and he made homemade wine, and none of the other grandchildren liked it, but I did.
Yep.
So he had 20 bottles, and nobody else. Oh, we're gonna throw them away. I said, no, you're not. You're not throwing them away. So 20 bottles of homemade wine. So from August to after Labor Day, guess what? They were gone. And I drank them.
Yeah.
And
Was that before or after your wife said,
it was before.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Yeah, that led
that's
up
okay.
to to what happened. And that
Yeah.
I never forget the night at a person's camp. I come back the next day. I go, I'm sorry for what happened. I apologize. And then I went to saw an AA counselor, been to AA meetings, and not only they teach about AA, they teach about life. There's a lot of older people in AAs that I learned from, and they teach a lot about life, how they used to be, and how AA connects you to real life. It connects you to real who you are, and finding out who you are become, and
right, it's not just about, oh, you need to quit drinking. This is how you quit drinking. It's how do you find yourself again?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they have feelings. You have feelings. You have like, oh, wow, that was me. And then you look back upon when you go out different places, you go, oh, wait, I know nothing to say, nothing to judge because that was me. That was me. You know, then you realize, okay, that was me. That was me. Oh, reality hits you right in the face. It's like, wow, that was me.
Well, it's one of those things. You're driving down the middle of Utica and you see a homeless person that's clearly made bad choice decisions or life decisions in their life. Bad choices in their life, rather. And you know, it's so easy to judge somebody just on the outside looking in, but you don't know what led them down that path to get to wherever they are. And you know, I think there are people out there that knowingly make these choices, but there's also people that have just had in a series of unfortunate events just back to back to back that clobber them over and over, that leads them down paths too. Not that you ever have an excuse, because I think it's important not to have a victim mentality and blame other people. I think it's so important.
But I think in my mind that comes down to awareness or the access to help. And a lot of times people that are on the streets don't have the knowledge of where they can go get the help because
Right.
they're kind of out just on their own and they don't have, I want to say, access to the internet maybe and stuff, even though they could probably go to the library or something.
Right.
But that's not where their mind is. So often we're like, just go get help. There's help out there for you for every sort of situation you're in or any event that happens to you in your life. There's always help and there's always a way out. A lot of times those people don't see that. So when you were like, I want to go to AA, because that's a huge step, was it probably clearly after your wife had said that to you? How long did it take for you to make that big leap?
It took about 3 months. I was seeing the counselor, and I never forget the first time I walked down an AA meeting. I was like going down the stairs, and my legs were like, it was like, whoa, where am I going? And everybody's staring at me, and
Right.
why, I feel uncomfortable and not ordinary. And then it's a little easier. Then I knew people.
Yeah.
It's like, but then you realize we all have the same problem.
Yeah, it's
We're all-
that human connection with all these
Yeah.
people, whether or not you know them or not, doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you're able to connect to people that have issues like you have and like we all have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they are human too, because just like, we're in the AA program itself is like, okay, I met this person, a lot of reach out, a lot of resources and people that I've known locally. Like, okay, now it's not, it's more comforting once you do it more and more, and they study the big book and stuff like that, learn about it and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I haven't been going to a lot. I have been going as much as I should because my family needs help, and I need to take care of my dad and my wife and my mom right now. So, but I'm proud. I'm proud of where I came from. I'm proud that saying that I'm sober, and I can sit at a bar and not even have a drink, not even have a Cajun world. My drink is I'll have my cranberry and my Sprite, and that's my mixed drink.
You should be so proud.
Mm-hmm.
You really should.
I mean, and not only if I was still drinking, I couldn't do the stuff I want to do to help kids. I couldn't coach. I couldn't, and why would I want to do that? To me, a selfish reason is drinking and that selfishness. And you put that aside. I mean, yes, my wife and I have been through holy heck. There's another time, but these past 3 years, I'm really getting to know who I am, and we're getting to know each other as one. And that's very important to me and her as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that she gave me that ultimatum, basically, and saying, me at the bottle. And come to find out, I didn't know this per se, but I remind her of her dad because her dad was like me. So, and that's why she didn't, like it as well. But that's the good thing. So, I mean, and I still see different counselor to this day, but there's nothing wrong with seeing a counselor because it helps you learn mechanism, helps you learn what works for you, what don't work for you, and stuff like that. And it really treats you and how you want to feel inside. And it's amazing to find that, wow, it's like, we really can connect to people without drinking and having fun.
It's one of those things that makes me wonder. It's like, why does it got to take, and this isn't for alcoholics, this is for anybody. Why does it got to take like a really negative situation to remind us like what's important? So, like, why does it generally have to take like a severe situation for somebody to quit their addiction that they know is bad for them?
Well, it's kind of like you won't know the good without the bad. Most of the time, you won't know the really good stuff, like what you actually have in your life, unless you kind of fall pretty hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
I agree. Yeah. That's...
And, it's funny how your wife... I don't mean like it's funny, haha. I mean, it's interesting how your wife is giving you an ultimatum, saying it's me or the bottle. And it's also almost like it's the bottle or you helping kids too, not just her, because you couldn't do both. Like you said, if you were still drinking and doing all that stuff, you wouldn't be able to help kids or help coach like you're doing now.
Right.
So she kind of helped you in that part
exactly.
too. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think the man upstairs put us together for this reason. And everybody was put together for a reason. I truly believe that. And some of the people that I'm not as close to anymore, which is okay with me, that's my choice, but they haven't seen the light of day because they're still in that circle. They're still in that vicious circle. And I understand, and true friends, my true friends, they don't blink an eye that I'm not drinking. They know that. They don't even ask, you want a soda? They don't ask, hey, do you want a beer? They don't even ask that because that's what true friends is all about.
Yeah.
They like you for you and who you are and who you represent. And not like, oh yeah, no.
Oh, he doesn't drink anymore. He can't be in our circle.
Exactly.
Right.
And, but some people some people I came across say, well, your wife shouldn't made you stop drinking. No, I stopped drinking because I had a problem and I needed to stop drinking. Otherwise I'd have been dead. The plain simple. There's no denying that I'd been dead if I had kept drinking the way I was going.
Yeah.
So, and people like say that, whatever, and that's no here nor there. But I know why I stopped drinking. Nobody made me stop drinking but me because I had to. I had a problem.
Right, you're the one that makes the choices for yourself. Even
Exactly.
though she gave you
Right.
options, you decided what to
exactly.
do.
And if I was still drinking, we wouldn't be together. So I had you're right. I had that option. If I wanted to drink, I'd still be drinking, and we wouldn't be together.
Right.
But I chose. I chose not to drink because it wasn't healthy, and I probably would have been dead. So I know I had a problem. And that's the bottom line. You know you have a problem.
You know, it's cool that you're able to actually talk about it. How old were you, do you think? Or was this a recent thing where you really wanted to give back, whether it's to kids and just help other people? Or has that been like that for a long time or no?
Probably the past 5 years, seriously, and probably overall 10 years, because I'll tell you a situation. I have two cousins that are mentally challenged, and they went to school and they didn't get the proper care and the caretaking they needed to get in this particular school.
Yeah.
And that's why I went into special ed, and that's why I want to change, because I want to make sure everybody has the right opportunity and that needs help, and they need to do this the right way.
Yes.
And not go like push them through. Oh yeah, here you go. They have one's 30, has a about 13-year-old mentality, and one's 28, has a 10-year-old mentality. So that being said, that's why I went to special ed, and that's why I want to help kids the way I do, because I don't want nobody to go through what they had to go through and were pushed along and nobody helped them.
Yeah. And I think so many kids this day and age are pushed along, and not even just kids, people in general. Whether they're making the right or the wrong decisions, people are still allowing them to continue on the way they are, and it's such a backwards thing. And this applies literally to everybody, because if people are able to conduct really negative actions that are affecting people negatively, unarguably negatively, but there's no repercussions, there's no discipline, there's no course of action for these people that are doing horrible things in this world, or there's no course of action, no repercussions for kids that are in school at a young age. It's showing them, we're raising this generation of kids that
You can do what you want and treat people how you want in a negative way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
And it stinks because it's almost like, so it seems like there's way more of a spotlight on bullying, which bullying was literally the subject of our last podcast with Mr. G and I. It's a great thing that there's a spotlight on bullying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if there's no repercussions for negative action, so if there's kids that are caught bullying people really bad, which I'm sure there are, it's like, what's going to be done if there's...
So if there's awareness about anything in life that's hurting anybody in any way, there's awareness. Everyone knows. We're all talking about it. There's videos that kids are watching, etc. But then there's no resources for them to get help and understand why is it bad. Hey, if you do this, then this is what's going to happen. And then it's like there's going to be consequences if you act in a wrong, negative way and harmful way. But there isn't any consequences. There's no anything backing it up. There's no truth to anyone's word anymore.
No.
And that's in...
I almost think the only way to combat it is to literally just show up, show these kids love, whatever you can do, until hopefully the red tape and things change, at least for the better.
I agree. It's yes, it is show up, show love, but it's also, part of me believes in zero tolerance when it comes to certain behaviors.
Yes.
Because kids see other kids doing it. Well, why can't I do that? Nothing happens. And then it's like a ripple effect and still nothing happens. And it's this big snowball effect and it gets worse and worse. And it's really to a point now, I believe it, not just in schools, just in homes. Parents aren't being accountable.
Correct.
Nothing in this
Well,
world
it's
right
exhausting. It's exhausting parenting. How many kids don't parent their kids? Here's a tablet.
Yeah.
Go do your thing the
Yeah.
rest of the
now.
day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't know what they're watching.
No.
They really, really don't.
Okay, that's a great point. Okay, for example, I never played the game Fortnite. Fortnite, I have never seen it, and all these kids, they talk about that idea with school and it's Fortnite. I go, what is Fortnite?
Yeah.
Well, oh, it's a game, Mrs. G. You should play it. No. What is it? Does your parents know you're playing? Do you play with other people? I was like, I'm trying to get. They go, it's just a game. I go, but is it a game? Do you play against other people like from all across the country, different countries? Do you play against your friends? Do you play, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, is it interaction with people? What is Fortnite really about? You know, they go, well, it's just a game. I go, no, that's not what I'm asking. What is it about? Does your parents know you're playing this? Oh, yeah, they're okay with it. And Snapchat. Oh, that's another
Yeah.
one. It's like,
Yeah.
is it fifth graders? He goes, oh, this girl's on Snapchat and she's talking blah, 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 and this. And I go, does your parents know you have a Snapchat? Oh, yeah, they have they know I have an account. But do they know who you're talking to?
Right.
Oh, well,
The parents have no idea. And a lot of them have no idea.
yeah.
Even with the parental controls, and parents will be like, oh, well, I, watch and keep up with
Yeah.
what they're doing or what websites they're on or social media. That's not always accurate. And that's scary because there are predators out there that pretend, and they're very, very good at it.
Yes. Like if I had a child, I wouldn't know what Snapchat was, what Fortnite was, what anything. So that's why I'm asking questions these kids that I come across, because it just boggles my mind that I think social media is good in a way, but yet also it's got to be controlled.
It's
It's
very
100%.
new. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's how long has it been around realistically?
Right.
You know, and now it's become a thing where it's pretty much got everybody involved. Kids, elderly, everybody in between.
Yeah.
And it's like we're still learning, I think, as humans, like collectively, how to deal with it and how to manage it. But it's like it's constantly changing too. So it's like as soon as they think they have a way to manage it, and now you have AI in the mix, and it's
Yeah, but also kids they're very smart. Kids are a lot smarter than what people think, and they find ways around their parental controls, or, they can make maybe 2 accounts for something that their parents might not know that they have. And it's just scary. It scares me for the kids.
Very scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary out there. It's just, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Shifting gears a little bit, Mr. G. Good question for you though. Like, obviously, kind of tallying off onto the whole bullying thing. Like, what have you learned that's so damn valuable, you think, from enduring that pain of being bullied, and then, growing up, and then dealing with alcoholism, and like what things do you think kept you going? Obviously, you have great parents, which a lot of people don't have that nowadays. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
what do you say to those people that are going through something like you went through growing up, that have everything you had minus the parents, which is
Yeah.
a huge
Yeah.
setback?
It's my perseverance is because I was always, like I said, picked on, laughed at, because I wasn't a star. I was an all-star bowler, and that wasn't thing. But my perseverance, and Coach Bill Pulowski, the head football coach, he was like a second father to me, and he taught me in life, no matter what you do it, you overcome, and you can, because God loves you. God loves everyone. And you got to understand that and have that persevere and have that, I don't do these things because reward myself. I try to do these things to help kids understand that the people do care and there is hope. And if you just put the mind to the grindstone and pray to God, I know a lot of parents don't agree with that in school. At least we say the Pledge of Allegiance, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And because nowadays, everybody, we all just got to learn to get along.
I know. I know.
That is
Yeah.
so huge. I try to tell my students, just get along.
Mm-hmm.
You're only in school for what, 6 hours. You might see your people 1 or 2 periods. Just get along.
Yep.
You know, and you've always said the whole make good choices, make good choices.
Yeah.
Now that echoes in my head. I say that now, and I say
Yep.
that to my kids now. You know, because I believe you said your dad said that to you
Yes.
growing up, right? Just make good choices. It's
Absolutely.
something that's so simple. But if you really think about it, and you were to conduct that every single day, and every time you're going to make a decision, you think about it, it's going to change your life. You know, and I started making better choices. It has changed my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hero.
Never fails. The dogs love Mr. G.
Yep.
So with everything that you have planned up, and if hypothetically, if you were not limited by anything with what your dream is, what
Yeah.
would you like to do? If somebody gave you a magic wand and said, "Hey, Mr. G, we're going to make this happen," like
What I'd like to do, I'd like to go to every school in New York State and present a program about how to help kids achieve their goals on a daily basis, and just promote kids, no matter what they are, and just help kids.
Yeah.
The bottom line is to just get out there and help kids. Like, for example, if you're in preschool now, and you're in preschool, you're taught how to be potty trained, how your ABCs 1, 2, 3. You know, that is all good things. But you wouldn't be talking about, like, hey, you know, this guy called me a jerk. You know, you wouldn't be talking about that. It's just each grade level. Well, my goal is each grade level, I have a focus on. I talk to them, and then I try to help give them every month. I'm going to do a thing about character building, like how to be persevering, how to goal set.
I think I don't want to interrupt you. I just think it's so darn important for kids to know you're going to go through hard times. You're going to go through suffering. Things are going to happen in your life outside your control, and how to properly react to it. Because I don't ever remember hearing that my entire life.
So they do have people come in, like school psychologists and stuff, and they'll have a class, you know, every now and then that talks about certain situations you might be in and how you get through it. What should you do, A, B, or C? And they do have kids engage in making the right choices. I don't know if they do that in the middle school, but elementary they do that. And that's one thing I really, really do love, because it's like what you're saying, like setting, you know, not just setting goals, but how to do A, B, and C, how to get through this stuff, how to treat other people, respect, integrity, and all that kind of stuff, morals. They do have people in school that are trying to do that. So I don't want people to think that we're just saying that schools are awful and blah, 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 because they're not. You know, there is stuff set in place to help them when it comes to, you know, doing the right thing, making good choices.
Right. Yes, and that's what I want to do. I want to spread the word and hit every school in New York State that I can eventually, because I think it's important to give back, not just locally in your community, but try to give back to other people. And I got other teachers in different school districts that once I get it in Camden built up, and now I start at the elementary level, then middle school and high school, then I'm going to branch out to the other school districts as well, because I think it's important. I want to get out and about and help kids.
I like that you were saying how you want to help kids realize or set goals. whether it's a goal, a month from now, or what do you want to be when you grow up? Or, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to college? You don't have to go to college. There's like other programs like BOCES and stuff that you can do. Or do you want to be a farmer? There's nothing wrong with that. Do you want to work on cars? And I think a lot of kids now, especially in high school, I don't want to just blame it on home life, but the parents, there's not really anything goal wise that's positive. It's like, I just want to get, a 9 to 5 and just blah, I just got to make money to come home and play video games all day. It's like, maybe if we can make kids go beyond that and think a little harder and contribute more to society and other people that need help instead of just, I just want to go and play video games.
We talked with Nick Lavery. That was the guy we drove down at the beginning of December. And one of the things he brought up is something that I've really taken hand at, just the positive reinforcement to the kids, telling them aim insanely high. Like, I never would have said this to my kids, but I learned the power in it. Just going through my own times. Set your goals, shoot for the stars, settle in between. Like when it comes to the military, I'm like, think about special forces. Think about going to be the most badass individual you can potentially be. And then, if you fell out of it, you fell to infantry, for example, in this case. And I've never thought like that. I never thought like that for myself. I never really had a whole lot of goals growing up. I was just kind of like, I just went with the wind and just enjoyed life, which I have no regrets. But man, I'm like, what if I started trying like I've tried in the last year or two?
Yeah.
Like, what if I started trying like that when I was like 16, 17, or even when I 11? Like, what if I learned what I've learned right now, which is impossible, I think, without going through really hard times and going through the motions. But that something I heard today is like the chaos is just as important as the calm. You can't have calm without chaos, and you get that negativity and you get those hard times that are so damn important. They give us contrast to life, and like, and I know you're going through things, I'm going through things, and like everybody's going through stuff. You're not going to avoid it.
Right.
But why isn't there more of a focus on that? Because I just don't ever remember learning about that, or if I did learn about that growing up, I never paid attention, which may be the case.
Or it didn't make a big enough impact on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a good thing you said that, because now when they first asked me to coach the girls, be assistant in the girls varsity bowling team, and I'm doing it with Jeff Klatt. So the girls never really met me, and the first time I walk in a room, I go, all right, who's on board? We're going to win the sectional title. They looked at me.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, like a deer in the headlight look. Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said, who's on board? Who's going to win a sectional title? I said it again. They go. I go, isn't that the goal? Don't you want to? Well, this is only our second year bowling. I go, so don't you want to get the ultimate goal of winning the sectional title? Had the banner in the gym. Girls bowling win. Don't you want? They looked at me again. They said, yeah. It took them a while, but it's like, first of all, I was like, who is this wacko? What is he thinking?
Yeah.
But it goes along with what you said, Matt, is like, yeah, every time I go, and anything in life, I don't like to lose. Anything, I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
So you got to set your bar high yourself. So set the bar high, and then whatever happens, leave it in God's hands.
Yeah.
But don't just say, I'm just here, just another day.
Yeah, exactly. Or keep trying. If it doesn't work out like the first or second or third time, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
And don't try different things. And it's like, yes, I know the girls bowling team. I know we have a few bowlers that never bowled before, and they're young. I go, but that don't still mean you can compete and still win.
Yeah.
You try better each and every day. I go, we're still going to win the Section 3 Section 3 title, whether you like it or whether you don't. I go, that's just, I go, and then then they kept asking me why you say this. Because it makes everyone around us better and set goals high, then we achieve them. And then when we achieve them, success. You dress for
Love it.
success, you plan for success.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
Yep. No, it's not a bad way to look at it. And man, I just think the positivity that you're able to bring to these kids is just it's needed. It's needed now more than ever, and they need more people like you that genuinely care. So
Yep. And I mean, you could hear it and you can see it everywhere you are. They're like, Mr. G. And I love it.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
it is awesome. Like even when I was at the football game and stuff, and
Yeah.
the amount of people, Mr. G.
We're like, we want to go say hi to Mr. G, but you're talking to people. And then we're like, all right, let's go see him. Then there's like other people there. I'm like, oh, when are we going to be able to say hi to Mr. G?
Yeah, there's it's funny. The other day, we went to my mom and my wife. We went to the grocery store, and I was like 10 to 12 kids were in there, and my mom goes. She goes, you could be the mayor of Camden because all these kids, hey, Mr. G, Mr. G. I go, who's that? I go, that's kid. Yeah, you know that kid? Yep. And a couple of kids that play football for me, work at Tops. Oh, yep, I don't listen. Yeah. She goes, I go.
That's the impact that you have on them. That's, you know, it's amazing.
Well, keep in mind the only reason Monica's even working at a school is because of you. You know, you influenced.
For sure.
You know,
See,
heavily.
it's right. And I knew she'd be great at what she does.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, I just have this knack that some people should be in that school setting.
Yeah.
That's all, you know. Nothing special, just every.
You have so much love to give that
Yeah.
they need.
Yeah, because kids need it. They need discipline. They need you need discipline when they're bad, but you also need them reward them and tell them how good they're doing.
Exactly.
When they do a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you know-
there's a lot to that. There's so much to the power of positive reinforcement too, and it's something I need to learn to get better, and I think I have over the past year or so.
Yeah, but I also think I don't want people to be afraid for the discipline aspect of it because I will tell kids, yes, you can do this or no, or if a kid's in trouble because they did something and I'll talk to them about it, or I'll be the one to put them, aside for a second. They still love you just like they did before, before you not yelled at them, but, told them what their consequences were for their behavior. Every single kid still, I'd be like, I don't want them to hate me, if I tell them they got to sit out for 2 minutes or something.
I think kids crave the structure.
They do. They still run up and give hugs. And
Yes.
That's what they need.
Yeah,
And they know you care.
exactly. Because if they don't know, you can't, just turn your other way, you close your eyes and doing what they want to do, then you're like, don't care.
Right.
But once they show them you care, that's all you got to do is
Yep.
show the kids that you care.
Yep.
And they will respond to you
Yep.
Yes,
in
they
positive.
will.
And this one kid, I won't tell you his name, but this one kid, he's a 5th grader, and he comes to me, oh, Mr. G, you're not wearing your hat. And he says every morning, he says that to me. I go, buddy, I can't wear a hat all the time in school. It just, it doesn't look right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
He is right. He goes, oh, I like when you wear your hat. And what if they call you Mr. G and your first name is, he can't say it's L's right. He calls me Kook. He goes, why did they call you Mr. G? I was pointing my badge. I go, that's my last name. I go, you can call me Mr. G. He goes, no, I'm calling you Mr. Kook. I go, okay. Because I think it's because he's the only one that calls me that. Mm-hmm. And the only one, he hears everybody else calling me Mr. G. I think he wants to be, that's his.
It's special for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's his niche.
Yep.
That's his thing. Like, no, I'm not calling like everybody else does. I'm calling, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really I really think that's why he does that.
We're coming up on 45 minutes. I just wanted to throw something out there real quick just because it's on my mind. Nothing to do with this podcast even necessarily, but just, yesterday was Christmas, and there are so many people going through difficult times right now. And, we're no exception. And it's like the amount of people that think they're alone. I wonder that every time I have those thoughts, it's like how many people are also feeling the exact same way I am or worse, because a lot of people don't have a significant other, or they don't have that family that you and I are so darn fortunate to have, or border collie arrow in this case. But no, I hope that you continue your mission, because I know you're going through a lot, and I hope you're able to stay positive. And it's not easy.
No.
That lack of motivation and
I don't think it's just about the feeling alone. It's the too much is going on sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I know you feel overwhelmed so often, and we do too. And there's so many people out there that do. So it's sometimes, it's not always black and white. There's so much in between, but it's like people feel so drained and tired and lonely because they might not have family or a husband or wife or whatever, or kids. And then there's, people like you that have your wife and have your family and you're taking care of them. And that's so hard too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I feel.
Absolutely.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
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 Do you have any closing thoughts or anything, babe, or anything?
I'm just thankful for Mr. G, and I'm thankful we finally got together to be able to do this. It's been a really, really long time.
Yes.
And I love your message, and everybody loves you so much, and everyone is so thankful for you, especially the kids. So
Yeah.
don't stop. Don't slow
No.
down. Keep that momentum.
I won't. And I want to thank you and Matt for having me. And it's been an honor and pleasure. And yes, it's been way too long. We have to get together more often.
Yep.
I totally understand that. And I just, and hopefully you guys continue your message as well and continue their goals and stuff. And who knows, maybe one day we could be, you guys can be driving around. We can have one stop at one school. You guys can do your thing. Over here, I'll do my thing. And because I'm not just tech savvy, I can tell you that. That's that's way out of my league. Way out of my league. Not even close. I'm not even going to attempt to see what goes here and there. No way, because that's
no problem.
I know my strength and I know my weaknesses, and that is color coordinated. I am not. So, but yes, I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, and don't ever be alone. People care about people.
Yeah.
And people care about people. And I just want to say thank you again. God bless everyone, and have a happy new year. And let's get this 2025 rocking and rolling.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Mr. G. And we'll be seeing a lot of you. I'm sure we'll do multiple shows with you. I appreciate you.
Please.
And I appreciate the rock you've been for us, because you have no idea how much you helped us and people we love. So
Absolutely.
anyway, I
Till next
appreciate it.
time.
Until next time.
That's
Episode
right.
3 with him.